Durkheim's theory of suicide. Emile Durkheim, one of the founding figures of sociology, wanted to understand the world in ways that went beyond individual choices and personal feelings. He believed that society influences our actions, even in the most personal decisions. One of his most important studies focused on something as personal and devastating as suicide. He set out to explain why people take their own lives and how society plays a significant role in these tragic decisions. His findings were groundbreaking because they showed that suicide is not just an individual act, it is also a social phenomenon. Durkheim believed that by studying suicide, he could show how society impacts behavior. He carefully collected data and found patterns that could not be explained by individual circumstances alone. He identified 4 types of suicide, each influenced by the relationship between an individual and society. These types were egoistic, altruistic, anomic, and fatalistic suicide. Each one helps us understand how our connection to the larger social world shapes this deeply personal act. Egoistic suicide occurs when people feel disconnected from society. Imagine someone who feels like they do not belong, like an outsider looking in. They might not have strong family ties, close friendships, or a sense of purpose within a group. This lack of connection can leave them feeling lonely and isolated, making them more vulnerable to taking their own lives. Durkheim found that people who were not married or who lacked strong community support were more likely to experience this type of despair. Altruistic suicide is the opposite. It happens when someone feels so deeply connected to a group or cause that they are willing to sacrifice their life for it. Think about soldiers who die in battle or people who end their lives for the good of their community. In these cases, the individual's sense of self is so closely tied to the group that they see their death as serving a higher purpose. While this might sound noble, it is still a tragedy, as it highlights the overwhelming pressure someone can feel to prioritize the group over their own life. Anomic suicide occurs when people experience sudden and overwhelming changes in their lives, particularly when social norms and rules seem to break down. Imagine losing a job, going through a divorce,